Millions of people order new vehicles from dealers every year, but they're doing it wrong. The owner of this new Escalade is taking neurotic to a whole new level, but between you and me, it's not as crazy as you might think. Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now today I've got something a little bit different for you. Sitting beside me here is a brand new 2023 Cadillac Escalade that I'll be doing a full new car prep on today. So what that means is carefully removing all the protective plastics around the vehicle, fully detailing it, and then ceramic coating almost every single inch of it inside and out. The results are going to be truly spectacular, so stay tuned. Alright guys, well, just before I can get started on pressure washing here, I need to go around and remove all the plastics from the Escalade. Now as far as the exterior goes, there really isn't all that much on here. There's a little bit up on the tailgate and a couple pieces up on the front bumper, and then of course this foam pad here, but I can't say exactly why the tailgate and those front bumper pieces, those plastic is where it is, but I can tell you why this foam pad is here. So when vehicles get transported from the manufacturer to a dealership, a lot of the times they're going by rail, so they travel in a rail car, which is very tight. And so basically this foam pad is just to protect the door. There's not a lot of space inside the rail car, obviously, so the guy pulling them in and getting in and out of the vehicle, it's opening the door. So this pad is here just to protect the driver's door because it is opening and closing inside the rail car. So yeah, we'll get those removed and then I'll start with the pressure washer. Alright guys, well, just like any other detail, it's going to start with a pre-wash rinse, which will remove any dirt, dust, or other debris from the vehicle so that when I wash it in a little bit, the paint is as clean as possible, with the overall goal here being to always keep the paint from getting scratched or swirled. And even though I do that with every vehicle, it just hits a little different when you're working on something brand new. Now, as you guys can probably tell, this Escalade has barely been driven. In fact, I'm pretty sure it went from the dealership to the owner's house for a couple of days and then over to me, so it's only got about 20 kilometers on it, and thankfully really isn't very dirty, so I can move through this step really quick today. But to give you a little bit of background on the vehicle, like I mentioned, it's a 2023 Cadillac Escalade Sport Platinum, which is one step below the V Series, like that green one that I did a couple months back, but it is considerably cheaper than that one. This Escalade rang up at 170,000 Canadian, or about 125,000 US, and has a 6.2 liter V8 that puts out 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque, which is enough to get it to 60 miles an hour in just 5.9 seconds. Now, since I can't really talk about how dirty the Escalade is today, I figured I'd go a little bit more into detail on some of its specs and features. So as for the exterior, it does have upgraded wheels. They're 22-inch gloss black, 12-spoke rims, and I think look really sharp on the vehicle. It also has an upgraded catback exhaust system and would have also had upgraded 6-piston Brembo performance brakes with red painted calipers, but apparently Cadillac pulled those so they could use them on the V Series, and the owner had to settle for the regular ones. Alright guys, well now that I've got the Escalade washed and dried, I'm going to turn my attention to the interior, and things are going to be a little bit different than what I normally would do. I'll first start with kind of removing all the protective plastic from around the vehicle, along with a couple of boxes of floor liners that are sitting in the back there. I'll save those for later, but in terms of the actual cleaning in here, there really isn't going to be a whole lot to do. The vehicle really hasn't driven, so I'm just basically going to be, once I get all the plastic off here, all the protective plastic off the carpet, I'll give things a quick vacuum. There's that one spot over in the driver's footwell that did get a little bit dirty, but I'm not sure if I'll have to extract that or not. We'll see in a minute. But yeah, then I'll basically just give everything a quick wipe down and I'll be ready to get started on the coatings. I guess the reason that I'm going and starting with the interior first is, in terms of the coatings, is because the exterior, even though I've dried it, there's always a drip here or there. Even when you use a leaf blower, it's inevitable that there's just a drip that you miss somewhere. And the last thing that I want to do is be trying to get the coating applied and have a drip come out, out of a crevice or something. So we're gonna, avoid that happening, and we're gonna wait until the exterior is completely dry before we start coating. So we'll get going on the interior first. And I was actually talking to the owner when he dropped it off, and I guess one of the cool things that he went with on this Escalade was upgrading these kind of regular Cadillac logos or emblems to a monochromatic version, so they're kind of black and silver. And to be honest, I kind of think it was a good idea because the yellow and blue in this original one would definitely clash with this red paint. So yeah, kind of a cool thing, and I think it looks really good on the vehicle. So like I mentioned a second ago, the carpet right behind me did get stepped on with dirty shoes. Probably the mechanic that was working on this vehicle, I guess. For whatever reason, GM doesn't ship new vehicles with the wheels that the customers upgraded to. They actually shipped them with like black steel rims, and then they had to swap swapped to the new wheels, and I guess he also upgraded the exhaust or something, and they had to swap the entire exhaust system out. So dirty, grimy hands and feet were in this vehicle, and thankfully the protective plastic caught a little bit of that dirt, but you know, basically this is here to protect all the surfaces that are going to be touched before the customer gets it. But I guess this particular mechanic decided he wanted to touch a lot of places in here because there's dirty, greasy handprints kind of all over the place. Passenger side, it's everywhere. So hopefully this will come out with just a damp microfiber towel. I'm kind of hoping I don't have to bust the steamer out for that, but either way, we will get it cleaned up. But yeah, this is just really highlights my point about why you want your new vehicle touched the least amount possible. Okay guys, well, while I continue removing all the protective plastic, I wanted to explain why this Escalade still has the plastic on it in the first place. So because I happen to know the owner personally, he was asking me what he could do to make sure it stayed looking perfect. And because this is actually something I've done with my trucks before, I advised him to ask the dealer to leave all the plastic on. That way he would get it in hopefully as perfect condition as possible. And then of course he also wanted me to do the full gamut of ceramic coatings on it the second he picked it up. Now, as you can see, this strip of carpet here definitely needs to be extracted, which is kind of crazy considering the vehicle is brand new. Looks to me like the mechanic really wanted to make the vehicle as dirty as he possibly could, but it also wouldn't have been an issue if the worker on the assembly line had put the protective plastic in the right spot. Either way though, I'll have this spot looking brand new momentarily. Alright, well the very first thing I'll be ceramic coating in the Escalade is this almost white leather, which if left unprotected could very easily get stained from dye transfer from clothing like blue jeans. That's not really an issue on black leather, but on light colored leather like this, it's very possible, and I can tell you from personal experience that it's a heck of a lot less work to coat the leather rather than have to remove dyes or stains later on. Really, the process here is super simple. Just apply some of the coating to the applicator, spread it over the seat, and then after about a minute, remove any excess with a clean microfiber towel. Okay, next up is all the carpet and upholstery, which is just as easy to get coated. I'll simply spray some over the carpet, work it into the fibers with a microfiber applicator pad, and then spray a little bit more on after, and then just let it dry. Once it does, it'll be super hydrophobic, and if anything gets spilled in here, there should be plenty of time to get it cleaned up before it soaks into the carpet. Okay, well with the interior pretty well done, I'll move back outside and grab a fresh pack of my detailing clay to make sure this paint is fully decontaminated, using my quick detailer as lubricant. And despite this being brand new paint, I'm almost certain that there will be at least a little something on here, most likely a little bit of rail dust, which as you'd guess comes from the metal wheels of the rail car rolling on the railroad tracks. It creates tiny dust particles which swirl and end up on the vehicles inside the rail cars, and it basically ends up looking exactly like iron contamination. However, in this case, the clay is the easiest way to remove the contaminants since there really won't be much on here. Okay, now that the paint is decontaminated, it's imperative to do an isopropyl alcohol wipe down or use a product like Eraser, which will remove any polish residues or anything left over from the quick detailer so that the paint is as perfectly clean as possible so that chemically it can properly bond to the ceramic coating I'll be applying momentarily. Okay, now that the prep work is done, it's time to start on the ceramic coating with this CarPro C-Quartz UK 3.0, which I've used on quite a few vehicles before, including my own truck, as it's definitely one of the more highly regarded ceramic coatings on the market. And for those of you who may not know what a ceramic coating is, they're a semi-permanent glass coating and are pretty much the best option in terms of paint protection, as they typically last anywhere from 2 to 10 years and provide the vehicle with a ton of gloss, hydrophobicity, self-cleaning properties, UV protection, and more scratch resistance, as the coating is harder than the vehicle's clear coat. Now, after applying the coating on a section of the vehicle, I'll watch to see when the coating flashes, which can be a difficult thing to notice, and how long that takes is going to vary depending on the air temperature and humidity. But once it looks like a rainbow everywhere, I'll just simply wipe off the residue with a microfiber towel, and I'll actually end up throwing the couple towels I use in the garbage today when I'm done, because when the coating that's in the towel dries and hardens, it will basically be like shards of glass in the towel, and it won't be safe for any sort of use on a vehicle. Okay, next up is to use Deluxe on the wheels and the running boards, and this is just as easy to apply as all the rest, though because these wheels are a 12-spoke design, I'll just use the applicator cloth as I can get it applied much easier than with the block, and after a minute or so, I'll simply just wipe it off. Now, this might seem like overkill to some of you, but CarPro also makes a coating for tires as well that is significantly more durable than other tire dressings and also offers great UV protection, so I'll get 2 coats of that applied to all 4 tires. Okay, the very last thing to ceramic coat now is the glass, and again, this is a really easy product to apply. Just put a strip of the coating on an applicator pad, apply it to a section of the windshield, and then a few minutes later I'll just wipe it off, though I will end up doing multiple coats on the windshield and only one on all the other glass, and this coating is going to repel water drops starting at 30 miles an hour, along with any other airborne contaminants. All right, guys, well, 12 hours later, and the Escalade is all unwrapped, it's coated, and it is ready to tackle whatever the owner has in store for it. But I gotta say, this is one insanely good looking vehicle. Might just be one of the nicest ones that's ever rolled out of here. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, make sure you smash the thumbs up button, and definitely let me know down in the comments if you like this style of video. I can certainly do another one. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and don't forget to check me out on other social media like Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Enjoy the guitar outro, and I'll see you guys in the next one.